Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles and today we'll be looking at the new OP08 buffs, Charlotte Pudding and Black Maria. Just before we go into this, I need to do a disclaimer. I haven't got as much time now, so I haven't been testing a lot lately. I still tested these two cards, but if I give you guys some misinformation, which I don't think it will be, but if I do and if I'm getting wrong, I'm sorry. I do know how these two effects work, obviously, but there could be situations where a situation that I give as an example that could be not 100% correct. So just to make sure that I get this straight, but I'm probably not gonna get anything of this wrong. I obviously always do the research before I upload a video. So let's just get into it. Let's get into why Red Purple Law will be even more insane on OP08. So I told you guys that I thought OP07 Law would be Prime Law. I thought he wasn't going to be as insane on later sets than OP07. I was wrong, because he just got two insane buffs in the East, and this is and yeah, thank you Bandai, thank you for making my favorite deck so strong right now. Let's get into the first card, which is Pudding, and I'm gonna try to relate the cards to the chemistry of the deck, obviously, so you guys get a grasp of how good these cards are. Charlotte Pudding is a common, so she'll be very affordable for you budget players as well as myself. This is obviously the alt art. But what is Charlotte Pudding? Let's just read her effect. Your turn, once per turn, when your Dawn is returned to your Dawn deck, set up to one Dawn from your Dawn deck onto your field as rested. So pretty much this is like a kid blocker. Every time you return Dawn, which you'll be doing very often with your leader effect, she gives you a rested Dawn instead of an active Dawn like kid blocker. So pretty much what I compare this card to is this is just a better version than Zorojuro. Zorojuro, you needed to attach one Dawn, or not attach one Dawn, but you needed to attack with him and be at 3 or less lives to add an active Dawn. With Pudding, it's much better. Why? Because you can play much more aggressively, can go much more aggro, which is pretty much what I like to do with Law, and pretty much she will just give you the Dawn that Zorojuro normally gives you. Not only that, you don't need to attack with her, so people need to spend their board removal on her. You can't just attack with her when you need to by attaching one Dawn or two Dawn. So yeah, leaving her up, leaving her active will be much more annoying to your opponent because they cannot attack into it, unlike Zorojuro. So yeah, she's still a 1k counter, so that's good as well. So pretty much she's an early game kid, which is insane because you can just leave her up, then just keep doing your combos, and she'll give you at least one rested on. And then once again, if you play Shashi and Penguin, you just get the 3 Dawn back that you use for your leader ability. So pretty insane card. She's at 4k power. That means in a mirror match, just like Zorojuro, they need to use at least one of their power decreasing cards to then use 3 Dawn to bottom deck her and then play something. This means they have to, instead of bottom decking anything else, they need to prioritize Pudding most of the time actually, because she'll just keep giving you Dawn. So yeah, she's super annoying on mirror matches and other matchups as well. But for example, black colored, she can, because she's a 3 cost, just like Zorojuro, she'll probably be either a 1k or you'll just get her effect once. That could be, but still very good. So yeah, that's the chemistry, pretty much just a kid blocker, very simple, just a substitution upgrade from Zorojuro. I believe that's why she's better than Zorojuro and why people drop the Zorojuro. Some people are playing 4 Puddings, 2 Zorojuros. I don't know, man. I still don't know what the deck is gonna look like, my deck. She's pretty insane, and people are replacing Zorojuro on OP08 because of this card. Just a better version, just a better version. And you don't have searchers, so it doesn't matter what you play. That's the thing with Law. But now let's get to the most OP card. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This card is absolutely insane. Again, I didn't do much testing, but I did do some. And this card is something else, man. Let's just read her ability. Activate main once per turn. If you have no other Black Maria, add up to 5 Dawn cards from your Dawn deck rested, then at the end of your turn, return Dawn cards from your field to the Dawn deck until the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to the number on your opponent's field. So, what does this do pretty much is if you activate her effect, and keep in mind she does not rest when she activates her ability. you just get 5 rested Dawn, and then if you have more Dawn than your opponent, you just need to discard as much Dawn as you can to become equal to your opponent. This was supposed to be to help Kaido and King, so when they play the 10 drop Kaido, they just return a lot of Dawn, and so then late on next turn they could just play Maria, and Maria would give all of their Dawn back. But on Law is just much better, a much better buff for Law. So I don't know who gave the green light to this card to be printed, to be honest, because although it's a good buff for decks like Kaido, it's an insane buff for Law. This card is pretty much replacing Ayn. Ayn does not have a counter, now you have 2 counters, but we'll get to that, and she would only give you rested Dawn. This just gives you 5 Dawn turn, so 5 rested Dawn. So how does this work? Pretty much on late game, if your opponent says, for example, let's imagine he has 10 Dawn and you have 3 Dawn. You do a little combo like you play Raise Max, bottom deck, an opponent's character with your leader ability, and then you just play Black Maria. I believe Black Maria will be played with your leader effect. So you just bottom deck something and then you play her, because she's a 3 cost. You play her, then you activate her effect, not resting her, this is very important, and she just gives you 5 Dawn back. So you were at 0 Dawn because we're only at 3 and you used your leader ability. Because your opponent is at 10 Dawn, you'll just keep those 5 rested Dawn. You don't return anything, because it's until you are equal Dawn than your opponent. But even if you are already lower than your opponent, you don't return anything. So this is potentially a 5 Dawn regen card. This is insane, absolutely insane. So pretty much this card is pretty much this is telling you that you can do whatever combo you want, and then you play her, activate her effect, and get everything back and keep doing the best combos you possibly could. Not only that, she's not rested. People cannot attack into her. People need to use their board wiping cards to remove this card. She's a 3 cost and 2k, it can be easier, but again, just like Pudding, if people wanted to remove something that would be better, something stronger, no, they need to remove the Black Maria, unless, because if they don't, Black Maria will just keep getting too much value. If they don't remove it, guess what? Next turn you do another combo, she regenerates 5 Dawn, and yeah, you just keep going. If you need to return 1 or 2 Dawns, that's fine, whatever, Law doesn't work with that much Dawn anyways. So yeah, this is pretty much just a card that tells you, hey, Red Purple Law players, you can go as aggro as you want, you can go as low on Dawn as you want, I'll have your back, man. So yeah. And on top of that, she's a 2k counter. So when you have 1 on field, by the way, you can only have 1. Remember her effect. She's a 2k counter. So if people don't remove her, she keeps on the field, and the other copies can be a 2k counter. So yeah, just an insane card. People are replacing Ayn with this, and this is where I'm gonna just go to the budget options. If Bond Clay is still too expensive on OP08, I believe it's going to be even more expensive than now, because the set is not going to be sold as much now, by then, obviously. So yeah, you can potentially remove Bond Clay and play the Ayn as a budget option, and the rest you guys can afford it. Obviously Gordon, you can take Gordon, because, you know, like, taking away these two, for example, that are very expensive cards, they have other budget options, but for Bond Clay, you can go a little bit lower on counter power, because it's a 1k counter, because you do have a good amount of 2k. That's the other thing I wanted to say. Because you are removing Ayn for Black Maria, which is a 2k, you just have insane amounts of 2k power. 2k counter. 3, that's 5 here, 5, 9, 9, and then you have 13 with Shashi and Penguin. So yeah, 13 2k counter, that's insane. There was a time where you could barely reach 8 2k counter because of space. Now you can reach 12k counter, and yeah, so this is pretty much insane. So you can sacrifice a little bit for a budget option. If not, you can always just remove Bond Clay and play Zorjuro. He's a much slower card, but yeah, you still keep the counter, so I guess it works fine. Bond Clay is still an insane card, obviously. I mean, against late game decks, I'm gonna give the example of Bonnie when she plays like Fortress Kid. This really helps you to copy the power, so yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, it's what we have. So I'm just giving you guys some options. Black Maria, she's probably gonna cost as the same as Reiju, they're the same rarity. so I would suggest you to wait a bit, but I think it's pretty affordable. I mean, comparing to the Bond Glade, this is pretty affordable. If not, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a staple, guys. So I would really tell you to just invest on it. It's the same way Raichu, you need Raichu, she's a staple as well. She went to €8 at the end of OP06, which was when she was released, so maybe at the end of OP08 you guys can grab Black Maria for the same price. Charlotte Pudding, for what I saw, she's a common, so she will be very affordable. Even if she's not, you guys can just keep playing Zoro as well. But Black Maria, I think it's a priority, guys, for you to invest in. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys understood and enjoyed these two cards that I brought. I did explain a good amount of the chemistry. Black Maria, you play it with the leader effect and just get insane dawn regen. Charlotte Pudding will work as your Zoro upgraded. So yeah, that's just to give you guys good information about how the chemistry will work. And obviously in the future we'll bring gameplay to demonstrate this insanity. Maybe on future videos as well, I'll bring maybe budget lists as well, because I know this is getting out of hand. The deck is really strong, but it's actually as well very expensive. Thank you for watching. Just final thing, I don't know if you guys saw a video yesterday. I'm gonna upload this one on Tuesday. If you didn't see Monday, again, it's because I'm out of time. I can't find the time to record. That's why I'm recording this video, because it's a simpler one. And next week you guys aren't going to see any videos. This is because finally my college will be over and I'll be on vacation. So yeah, I'll just be enjoying vacation. When I come back, I'll start working on my OP07 guide for law for all of you new players. So yeah, the guide will come a little bit late. That's because I'm on vacation, but I think it's fine. I'll think, again, the guides is the thing I most enjoy to record and make, but it takes a lot of work. But I believe they're really good. So yeah, you guys will enjoy it. So yeah. Sorry, I took long ranting. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you actually did. I appreciate you all for staying till the end of the video. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.